Hello viewers, Masquera. Very good evening. Welcome to African Beyond Television Network. Apo patiri kukurukura nyaya dzakasiyana-siyana dziri kuitika mukati menyika yeZimbabwe. Professor Madhuku is in disagreement with the constitution of Zimbabwe and is so angry and has blasted the constitution of Zimbabwe so hard to an extent where he said that the constitution itself is not democratic enough, or the constitution itself cannot deliver a democratic process in the nation of Zimbabwe. And if Zimbabweans are serious, they need to focus on the constitution itself, because you change the president today, but the constitution will still give you headaches. So personally, I partly agree with Professor Lovemore Madhuku on this one, because I feel that there are some things which are lacking within our constitution. I feel that there are some things which need to be corrected for sure. So I'm going to play this Professor Madhuku video so that we can probably get what he said and get to the conclusion. So stay tuned as I put or play this video from Professor Lovemore Madhuku.
Understood, because you are going on and on over that one issue. I must make it very clear. My theme in this interview is to say that Zimbabweans must get away from these very narrow-minded approaches to our national discourse and getting on who comes from which family, who comes from which region. And I have also seen others assessing that and saying, okay, how many Karangas are there? Well, this one comes from Berengwa, this one comes from and so on and so on. That kind of debate. And what is that? But the debate must focus on the institutions. What has Parliament done? Why are Zimbabweans not amending this constitution, which gives the president the power to appoint commissioners? We have made it very clear. I've been clear myself from day one that we have an undemocratic constitution. There's no debate around those issues. In fact, most of the politicians who are busy attacking what happened, when you ask them, do we have a good, we did, we have a very good constitution, we were in parliament in 2013, this is our constitution and so on. If you talk to Monsora, you say, I wrote the constitution. Go to Mangwana and say, we wrote the constitution. This nonsensical document that gives the president such kind of power, you give him not less than 12. You can't, you have to give him. And the limit is not, there's no upward limit. So you can give the president 30 names and he picks number 29, number 30. This constitution is allowing that to happen. And Zimbabweans are not focusing. So I think, Blessed, if you want to be useful, I think, with your media, the debate in this country must continue to focus on the big issues. If you have a constitution that says the president shall do what he likes with the names we have given him, that's what the constitution says precisely. And then the constitution does, the president does what he likes. Then you go on top of the mountain and complaining. I think that is a bit unfair. Because you remove President Mnangagwa there, you put someone there without changing the constitution. You will hear, they will appoint their wives there, and things like that, and so on. Then today is Mohadi's daughter, the next day is someone else's wife, the next day is, things like that. I think let's focus on the constitution.
So personally, I need to agree with Professor on the appointment of people by the president. You can actually see that the president appoints the judges, the president appoints the ministers, he appoints the commissioners, he appoints everyone, and that is where the problem is, because I believe that these people are not subjected to thorough interviews, are not subjected to proper interviewing. I am of a view that we need to have people who apply for a certain commission. Like, we need to have a commission which deals with these things. We need to have a setup from parliament which deals with this issue. For an example, when we have 4 political parties or 5 political parties in parliament, each political party gives 2 or 3 people to the panel. And we take other people from the CSOs or from the general public. So you can actually see that if we are going to have a panel of interviewers from each and every political party to say CCC will bring its 2 or 3 people, and every party brings the equal number of the people, and we get 2 or 3 people outside parliament, and those people, if they were going to make a determination on who has passed the interview, who has done better during that interview, we are going to have far much better people than to have the president himself appointing people. Because what is parliament doing here? Parliament is just interviewing people just for procedure. But who is actually going to pick people to fit such positions? It is the president. So you can actually see that whatever method which is being used at this moment, it does not bring a democratic institutions in the nation of Zimbabwe, because there is no way the president will not pick his favorites, especially we are talking about an electoral body, we are talking of an electoral commission. And in power, only a few people are willing to lose power. So it's definitely that when they are appointing people, they appoint their people, they appoint their bodies, they appoint people who they know that very well these people are going to serve us. So from the chairperson of the commission, everybody is appointed by the president, and that is a very, very huge problem. And I agree with Professor Lovemore Madhuku on this one. So in the nation of Zimbabwe, we really need constitutional reforms. We really need a lot of reforms which are going to deal with the issues affecting us as a nation. Because you can actually see that the constitution itself, it gives power to useless politicians to do whatever they want with our future. They have to decide everything on our behalf. So issues which are not taken for a referendum, for an example, the change of age limit of judges was not taken through a referendum. And that alone shows that this constitution is weak. That alone shows that this constitution is not for the people, because to change age limit of people, it was supposed to go through a referendum. Because if you check myself, suppose I'm working for the government. If I reach 60 years, I am supposed to go home. I'm supposed to retire. I'm supposed to go on a forced retirement. But somebody is contesting office at 70 years, at 80 years. Somebody is contesting office even at 90 years. Somebody is becoming a judge, or it is continuing to be a judge at 70 years, 75 years. And that is not so proper, because we know that the majority of these people in those age groups, they are no longer strong enough to lead institutions. They are no longer strong enough to be in a position of making proper judgments and leading institutions like the Judicial Service Commission. So you can actually see that we cannot allow that as citizens to have the constitution which just gives politicians power to do whatever they want to do without us as citizens voicing up. We have seen that the constitution is so weak to an extent where devolution funds are being disbursed by the minister in his own interest. Why this devolution was set up for it to make the provincial councils be able to do their own things. That is, they need to give councils the power to decide their priorities. But right now we have a constitution which is allowing the minister of local government to do whatever he wants to do with devolution funds, and nothing is happening to him. It's because of this weak constitution. Also, there are no provisions where citizens themselves they can come to impeach a government. We need to have a situation where citizens are empowered by the constitution to impeach a government if they are not happy. So we are not happy with this government we have right now. And the problem is that ZANU-PF MPs, they are controlled because ZANU-PF equal. If you go against the leaders, they simply recall you. And that is another problem, because that disempowers MPs in parliament to represent the people who voted for them. So because if somebody was voted for by the people in Mberengwa South constituency, there is no need for ZANU-PF political party to recall that person without the consent of the Mberengwa South people. So Mberingwa South constituency should be allowed to go through a referendum which agrees with the political party to say we are removing this person from parliament. There must be a referendum which is held before an MP is removed on certain grounds. So you cannot say like what happened to Killer Zivu when he said mai Mnangagwa namai Chamisa taurai nevarume venyu vabatane vataurirane nyika ifambire mberi. He was sacked for that statement. In my view, Chiri South constituency people were supposed to be given an opportunity to voice their view regarding that. They were supposed to be given an opportunity to vote for Killer Zivu's removal. But because of this constitution, that is not happening. So I believe that there are a lot of issues where the MPs fail to hold the responsible authorities accountable on the basis that they fear to be fired, they fear to be sacked, they fear to be recalled from parliament. And that is the problem. So MPs are no longer representing people. MPs are now representing political parties. MPs are now going to parliament with political party agendas instead of going with the agenda of the people. Because once you are elected, you are now representing both people. Somebody who are supposed APA, who supposed CC, who supposed ZANU PF, or LEAD, or Zoom, or whatever political party you might think of, that person, that MP is now representing everybody. So for you to fire an MP as ZANU PF, I believe that that is not proper, that is improper, and that needs to be dealt with decisively. So I don't know what you think. Getting Itaure about this whole issue being raised by Honorable Madhuku or Professor Madhuku regarding the Constitution of Zimbabwe, the weaknesses in the Constitution of Zimbabwe, and how it promotes presidents to do whatever they want. So tell me in the comment section, getting Itaura to know the say.